You just testified you'd rather not see your child than be supervised?
I would much rather see my daughter, but I don't understand why we have to go from having fine visits, nothing wrong, back to something uncomfortable with supervised visits.
You're not a junkie, but your hair test came back positive for 4 different illegal substances, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Junkie uses every day. I'm not a junkie.
This is in the interest of Coffin minor child, non-considered party being Brandon D. Coffin, considered party being Megan A. Troxel.
State is asking for a further temporary order today. Both parties are present. Mr. Coffin has completed his drug testing, which is what I think was holding up the court on this case.
Right.
Mr. Glass can present those results. The state is asking for further temporary order that does supervised visits because of the outcome of the drug test and pending of Mr. Coffin's. He has a pending drug charge in Bell County.
All right, Mr. Adlightem.
Good morning, Your Honor. In this case, Dad went over, took a hair test. Mom's hair test was negative. Dad's hair test, of course, was positive for meth, cocaine, benzos, and marijuana.
All right, then I'll have this, what is the, well, based on all that, on the record, what's the Adlightem requesting, please?
I'm asking at a minimum for supervised visitation, Your Honor. I'd like to see some negative urinalysis tests from Mr. Coffin, or at least something that we can get a baseline on a urinalysis and then show some decreases. But I can't recommend anything other than supervised visitation at this point.
All right, folks, I'm gonna go ahead and get you both on the record at this time and get you both sworn in. We won't go into any details involving the fact specifics of the father's circumstances around the drug testing or what the drug testing shows. I don't want to have to we're gonna avoid any self-incrimination on that. But so we're gonna still stick to the data going forward as far as what we're gonna do in this case. And Mr. Glass, are you aware of when Mr. Coffin has his hearing, or is it set? What the circumstances are on that, or what it's set for?
Yes, Your Honor. It's set for a plea. It's been reset from a plea, but Melissa Tyrock's his attorney. I believe right now it's set for May 15th for a plea in Judge Mischin's court.
Okay, so it's in misdemeanor. Okay, all right then. All right, folks, let's go ahead and get some data. Let's go ahead and see what we can figure out what to do in this case going forward based on these circumstances. And I'll go ahead and let the Mr. Glass, have you had the opportunity to send a PDF of that test over to Belinda yet?
Yes, sir. It's been sent yesterday or the day before.
All right.
I can send it again though.
All right. Well, I'll double check, see if she got it, and we'll see about getting that introduced into evidence. Thank you.
I'll double check and send it again.
All right. Thank you. All right. So the parties there, please need to turn on the videos and raise your right hands, and let's get some testimony. Thank you. All right. And ma'am, unmute yourself and both raise your right hands. Thank you. Do you both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're gonna give this case today, this court today, is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you? Ma'am, other hand. Thank you. There you go.
Sorry.
That's okay. I haven't done it since I've been. I did it up till about 3 years on the bench, and haven't done it since. So it happens. Okay. But do y'all both swear? Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, you're both officially on the oath. I'm gonna go ahead and let the state proceed and let the Adlightem ask questions, and we can figure out what we're gonna do going forward. And obviously, we still need to do this as a further attempt because we got to deal with what happens with Mr. Coffin and his plea coming up. All right, and obviously other circumstances. So at this time, I'm gonna go ahead and let the state call their first witness. Thank you.
Thank you. The state would like to call Megan Troxel. Ma'am, will you state your name for the record?
Megan Troxel.
And ma'am, since our last court date, have you has there been visitation between Lila and Mr. Coffin?
Yes.
Okay. How have those visits been going?
I mean, I'm not physically there to understand exactly what happens, during that time. I know that he has not been following through with having a licensed driver. He does it at pickup, but not at drop off. I know he didn't get her the first Sunday of this month, or the first Saturday of this month, just because the first, third, and fifth, we kind of got it a little confused, because the fifth and the first, were consecutive weekends. But aside from that, he's had her every first, third, and fifth Saturday.
So during pickup, there's a licensed driver there, but during drop off, there's not.
Correct.
Who is the person you're concerned about having a driver's license?
Brandon.
Okay, so during drop off, has it just been Mr. Coffin?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the court?
Not at this time.
I pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Glass, you're a witness.
Ms. Troxel, you took a drug test also over at any lab test now, is that right?
That's correct.
And your results were negative? Thank you. Pass the witness.
Nothing on redirect.
I'm sorry, anything on redirect, Ms. Hubbard?
No, Your Honor.
All right, call your next witness then, please. Thank you.
State would like to call Brandon Coffin. Sir, will you state your name for the record?
Brandon Coffin.
And sir, the testimony is that you have a licensed driver with you on pickup, but not on drop off. Is that your experience?
No, that's not my experience at all.
Who has been going with you to pick up or to drop off the child?
Either time it's either been my girlfriend, her mother, Brittany Bolly, or Virginia Bolly.
And to your knowledge, both of those people have valid Texas driver's license?
I know it.
Has there been any of the times during the visits that it's just been you dropping off Lila?
No, never.
Okay. Where is pickup and drop off occurring?
Megan Troxel's house.
You understand the state is requesting supervised visits today.
Yeah, I'm not okay with that. I would just assume not see her if we're gonna have to backtrack to that.
You just testified you'd rather not see your child than be supervised?
I mean, of course, I'd rather not see her. I would much rather see my daughter, but I don't understand why we have to go from having fine visits, nothing wrong, back to something uncomfortable with supervised visits. Like that takes away a lot of what we can do, where we can do it. Like, I like doing things with my daughter, and I don't like being told what I can and can't do with her. Like, not as far as like illegal stuff goes, because I would never do that around my daughter or bring any harm to her. But I just don't understand why we would have to backtrack once everything has been okay. Like, I've made some mistakes in the past, which is obvious, but that's not the case nowadays. And I'm not okay with backtracking. This is supposed to be something that's, building progress in our relationship, and that's not what that's doing. That's just backtracking.
Okay.
I don't mind taking drugs.
Hold on. Wait, let me ask you some questions. So what type of drug test did you do?
A hair follicle test.
Okay. When is your charge that is pending in Bell County? When is the alleged incident from?
May 5th of last year.
Okay. And you've not had any other charges, other incidents since that time?
Except for speeding tickets and stuff, but no charges.
Okay. I guess let me specify no other issues regarding drugs. Okay. Do you have a valid Texas driver's license?
I do not. I can get one. Now that I'm paying my child support, I just need to make an appointment.
Was the child support with the reason why your license was suspended?
It was the reason why I couldn't, per se, get them in Texas.
Sir, you got a driver's license from another state?
I'm not from here. I'm from Florida. They were suspended in Florida, but for some reason I'm able to get them here in Texas. So I just need to get an appointment for that.
So was it suspended in Florida for another child support that was due in Florida? Or is that something else?
I believe it was child support.
Okay,
I have a
but not this case, but not this case, right?
Right, I have child support I pay in Florida as well.
Okay, thank you. You may proceed then, Ms. Hubbard.
Is there anything you would like to tell the court that it's not incriminating? I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Glass, you're a witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Mr. Coffin. How are you?
Morning, good, how are you?
All right. You and I have spoken a couple of times, right?
Sure.
And I mean, you've pretty much backed up what you've told me on the phone, that if visitation has to be supervised, then you're not interested, or you don't think that's right, and you don't want to see your child, right? I mean, you want to see her, but you're not going to see her if it has to be supervised.
I would never say that about my daughter. I love my daughter and I love seeing her. I look forward to it every other weekend. But I feel like it would do something to her in her mind to see us having to be watched when we've been not watched. You know what I mean? It's not for me. It's for her. Like I don't feel like she would understand that, and I don't want to have to explain that to her. You know what I mean? Because everything has been fine. There's been no drop-offs, the pickups. There's been no issues the whole time I've had her, and I've had her, 5 or 6 different times since this order played.
And that definitely talks to, your abilities as a father, but do you think that it affects your daughter that you use methamphetamines, cocaine, benzos, and marijuana at all?
I mean, I definitely think it would affect her if she, if it was an issue, but it's not an issue. And
Why is it not an issue?
It's not an issue at all anymore. Like I said, I don't know how far back that hair follicle test is, just a couple months or a month. But as of recent, it's not an issue, and I've got a good job now. Like things are on a different track for me. I also have a daughter on the way that I'm preparing for, for me now. And like I said, I don't mind taking drug tests to prove that I'm clean or whatever you need, but it's not something that I feel as a father and as a man that I have to, be okay with, because me raising my daughter, or if she's safe with me or anything, has never been a question. And if
In your
Megan,
mind, keep
Megan,
going. That's okay.
if Megan's calling it into question, I would like for her to prove why she's calling it into question, because, people make mistakes. I had a dirty drug test, but that's not I put my daughter in harm's way or put her in danger or anything like that.
So you don't feel that using substances that are illegal, that you're able to control your drug use. Is that what you're saying?
If my drug use was still a thing, I would absolutely agree with what you're saying, but it's not a thing anymore. And when it was a thing, it was never a thing around my daughter. My daughter is something I cherish. I would never, ever do that, like ever.
So if the drug tests go back, say 3 months, you haven't used any drugs since for 3 months, or what?
I smoked some marijuana about a month ago, yes, but nothing hard, no.
And in that time, have you gone to any rehab or done anything, gone to meetings, anything like that?
I mean, to be honest with you, sir, I don't have time. I work a full-time job. Like I said, I have bills in the house to take care of. I have a daughter I'm preparing for to come. She'll be here in August. So I have it's not, like I get a lot of free time. I don't get off of work until 4:30. I work out in Temple, so that puts me, home around 5:36. So I mean, it's not like I get a lot of free time every day.
As far as your work schedule is concerned, I know that you weren't too keen on the idea of having to pay for the drug test. You and I spoke about that at length. Is that something that you've changed your view on? Are you willing to pay for drug tests now?
I mean, I'm willing to do whatever I have to for my daughter. If that means having to pay for a drug test, and so be it. But financially, I really can't afford it with the amount of child support that's coming out of my checks every week. Like I went from making a good amount every week to making pretty much half of that. And with the bills that I have, it's really hard to even make it back and forth to work right now. So,
What are your significant bills?
rent, water, phone bill, every normal bills, I guess, electric, all the normal bills. And I went from making probably about 800 a week to about 3 or 4, give or take.
So I'm a little curious. I don't know a whole lot about these substances, but when and you're saying you haven't used any, let's call them hard drugs in the past 3 months, and then some marijuana maybe about a month ago, right?
Right.
So on the marijuana about a month ago, did you purchase that, or was that provided by a friend?
To be honest with you, it's the THCA. I'm supposing they say it shows up on drug tests, but it's the stuff you can buy at the CBD stores.
So you
I mean,
bought
it's-
something at the local
No.
cold beer store?
Yeah,
How much did that cost?
that was $20.
So you spent $20 on something that may or may not endanger your visitation with your child, instead of a drug test, which could guarantee that you'd be able to see your child.
Well, being that they sell it over the counter, I don't think it's illegal.
Right,
So-
but you could have used that money to get a drug test,
I
and then
absolutely
you
could.
could,
If
yep.
that was what could be done, yeah.
and then you could come in here and say, hey, I'm clean.
I didn't know that that was an option, or I would have gladly done that.
On the harder drugs, now, how you said that this the Delta 9 or whatever, it costs $20?
Sure.
Is that a yes or just a sure?
Yeah, that's
I
a
mean,
yes.
I'm cool if it's just a sure.
That's a yes.
Okay. When you do smoke marijuana, how much does that cost?
It's been a while since I've bought it, probably about $10.
$10 for like a gram or what?
Gram.
Okay. And then the methamphetamine, how much does that go for a gram?
I couldn't even tell you nowadays.
Well, you said that you used it about 3 months ago. So, yeah, I
Bought
mean,
that.
the economy hasn't changed that much under President Biden, has it?
Oh, sure it has. Absolutely.
He's making us all poor by making our methamphetamine get more expensive, isn't he?
Yeah. No, I've never bought that much, to be honest with you, sir. I don't. It's not something that I'm not a junkie. It's just something I like, did every now and then.
You're not a junkie, but your hair test came back positive for 4 different illegal substances, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Junkie uses every day. I'm not a junkie.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Your daughter deserves you to not be a junkie. And
Absolutely.
you also agree with me that your daughter deserves to have a father that doesn't use any illegal substances, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And you also agree with me that you're willing to pay for your analysis over at any lab test now, right?
As long as they're not hundreds of dollars, I can't afford, no hundred, like another drug.
Your analysis is a lot cheaper than hair follicles, sir. I think it's 50 or less, something like that. But or under 100. But Mr. Glass can confirm that. So
If it's something like that, yeah, I could afford that, no problem.
Okay. How many of those do you think you ought to have before you get unsupervised visitation with your daughter again?
I mean, that would be up to the state, obviously. I'm not the one to call that.
Yeah, but what do you think? 1, 2, 3? How much do you think that how many drug tests?
If it was up to me, it would be one as soon as possible. Like I'd really cherish my daughter.
Do you have any problems with taking maybe like 3 consecutive urinalysis just to make sure that the state can trust you?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
Okay. On the driver's license deal, just make sure everybody's showing their cards and we can trust everybody. Do you have any problem with sending me a picture of the other folks' driver's licenses that you mentioned that might be transporting your daughter?
Sure, I can ask them if that's up to them, but as long as they don't care, I don't mind.
Well, I'm sure that they're protecting their valuable information while President Biden's in charge, but you've got my cell phone number, right?
Sure.
So you could take a picture with your cell phone and send that to me. I appreciate it. Pass the witness.
all right. So Mr. Glassford, I'm probably and Mr. Coffin, I'm looking at probably at least 2 tests where we get that baseline and get another test that shows that either it's going down or it's gone completely, sir. So I'm looking at least 2 on those things, and let me see. Let me double check.
You looking at a calendar, Judge?
Yeah, well, I'm looking at the cost. Urinalysis, it looked like it's $70 out at, for a 10-panel drug on urinalysis, so at, any lab test now. That's so it's, yeah, it's definitely a lot cheaper than the hair follicle. All right, then, am I thinking about the last minutes? Mr. Coffin, you got anything, anything pending, you do, anything pending as far as charges concerned, sir? Because I've got the last hearing had something like that, so do you have charges pending, sir?
Just the thing, on May 15th, other than that, no.
That's what I thought. Okay, you're the other guy with the May one. I had the last hearing had a gentleman that had something going in May also, so I just want to make sure I wasn't transferring over. So, and when, and is that going to be a final order in your case, sir?
Your Honor, I have no idea what's going on with that, to be honest with you.
All right, what's the charge again?
It's, possession of a dangerous drug.
Okay. All right, then, here's what I'm looking at, sir. I'm looking at, you know, you know, you gotta look at it from my point of view. Everything has been going fine as far as the circumstances are concerned, but once these drug tests come back, you know, I've got to do supervised visits. I just can't, you know, if something happens while that child's in your care and, you know, the media finds out you've got positive drug tests, guess who's gonna get yelled at? It's not, besides you, okay? So I've already got to err on the side of safety, especially for a minor. So I do have to order restricted visitation or supervised visits until we can get something that shows that you're on the track of getting this taken care of. If you, how soon could you take that first drug test, sir? Like I said, it looks like it's about $70. Same place you went to last time. You went to the place in Harker Heights, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, $70 for a urinalysis. And that'll be the base on this, and then we're probably looking at urinalysis within how far out do you think, Mr. Glass?
Judge, I was hoping we could get one done today, and then
Okay.
let's do another one, say the end of May.
Okay. All right then, Mr. Coffin, can you get how soon can you get out there and take a urinalysis 10-panel test, $70? Just a second, I gotta pause for a second, sorry. So, sorry about the delay, my brother can't figure out how to use his Zelle account, so yeah. and believe me, I want my brother to get paid, all right? So yeah, sorry about that, guys. You may proceed, sorry.
Yeah, Judge, so I was thinking, hopefully we could get a UA today and then one towards the end of May.
Right.
And also, if you would just reiterate to Mr. Coffin that he's not to transport the little girl until he gets a valid driver's license. And kind of the reason that I'm asking for that, as I'm sure you know, Your Honor, is you get pulled over without a driver's license, you've already got one pending misdemeanor, then you get CPS getting called, then you have the child removed, and a lot of bad things happen when you drive a child around without a driver's license, especially like your vehicle getting searched and things like that.
Yeah. Again, until we get the drug tests back, unfortunately, Mr. Coffin, I'm looking at restricted access, and I don't know how we're gonna set that up with the mom being the person to do it, or a third party being the person to do it, but we'll have to do it that way, sir, until further order. But how soon that Mr. Glass is asking for something today or tomorrow, I'll give you tomorrow, sir, that this is a Thursday, so it needs to get done in the next 24 hours. When can you get that taken care of, sir? Okay, let's get this place is open on Saturday, so can you get that taken care of before the close of their business time frame on this coming Saturday, sir?
I can't, I'm not gonna be able to afford that until next week. I can't afford that this week.
Judge, can we do the deal where I pay for it and schedule it in the next day or two, and then
Mr. Coffin, you already owe me $299 because yours came back positive, so that, but I'll save that for the final hearing. But you know, I pay for them up front. They come back negative, I'm good. But if not, the person who's positive, they got to pay for it, sir. Now this one I'm going to pay for it no matter what, because I know it's going to feel positive. But I'll have Mr. Glass to go ahead and pay for it. I'll reimburse him, but it'll be set up within the next 72 hours. Can you make that trip, sir?
As long as they're open after 5:30.
All right,
No,
do you work on Saturdays?
Not on Saturday, no.
All right, well, let me go back. They're open on Saturday. I don't think, let's see. And they are open to noon on Saturday, so can you do that on Saturday, sir?
I can do that, no problem.
All right, they're open from 9 to 12 p.m. on Saturday. Mr. Glass will set it up and give you the data, all right?
Okay.
All right then, sir. Right now, like I say, I'm suspending visitation into further order. I'd like to, I want to get this back on track before Father's Day shows up. Obviously, next month's Mother's Day. You say you don't want to do a supervised, so until we get the drug test where we need to get them, sir, I'm going to have to suspend.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, now, did I put y'all on that close?
Yes, you did.
All right, would you like to do some FaceTime visits with the child twice a week?
I would like that.
All right, let's do that then. Ma'am, I'm gonna go ahead, and the norm is I give them on Sunday at 6 p.m. and Wednesdays and at 6 p.m. You say you get off work at 5:30, is that correct, sir?
So, or no, I'm off at 4:30, but I usually, after traffic and stuff, I get around.
Okay,
5:30.
all right, so 6 o'clock on using app close will work for you on Wednesdays at 6 also, correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, then. You need before 24 hours before the visit, sir, make sure you send mom a text an app close message that, hey, I'm going to do my visit, I'm going to do my FaceTime tomorrow at 6 p.m. Please have my daughter available, and she'll have the child available, okay?
Okay.
All right, we'll do that until we get back on we'll get this thing taken care of. All right, is there any other questions of either witness at this time, Ms. Hubbard?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Glass.
No, sir.
All right, let's look at the reset date on the general docket next month. So, Mr. Glass, I'll go ahead and approve for you to do both of those. Let's see if we can get one done, like I say, by this Saturday. And let's see if we can get the other one done by the 3rd week sometime in May. And does Mr. Glass have anything coming back already after, let me look at the calendar and see what the darn 3rd week of May is. That way I can actually figure things out. So yeah, so if you get that done before the 17th, before the 17th, I can see about Mr. Or 24th is fine also. Has Mr. Glass got anything that last week in May, the 28th or 30th, or so we can see about getting that second drug test done?
Looking here.
Your Honor, Mr. Glass has a setting on the 23rd. We don't have the May court dates fully yet.
Okay.
So
All right then.
if you want to give us those, that's good.
All right, let's go ahead and do the 23rd and see if we can get him in sometime before the 20th. Okay, that way it can be done. All right.
Yes, Your
Yes,
Honor.
sir.
All right, so Coffin, we're gonna get that second test done before May the 20th. And like I said, if it's on a Saturday, obviously you're probably looking at May the 18th. But again, I'll let Mr. Glass set up the time frame he wants to on that and tell you what those dates are. But it could be the 18th or the 11th or the whatever date he feels is appropriate. Okay. And it does close on weekdays at 5:30. So I think you can make it there. Where do you live, sir?
I work in Temple. I live in Harker Heights.
Okay, so you're on a bad day, it's an hour drive at best, right?
On a bad day, yes. Which is
Yeah,
Mother's Day.
well, just stay away from the 35 exit to go to Killeen and come through and go through Belton the back way, and you won't have anything to worry about. But yeah, there's always a backup then. All right, folks, then suspension of visitation to further order, reset to the 23rd, same, the Zoom code will be sent to y'all on that, and Mr. Coffin will go ahead and take a test this weekend and get another one done before we come back on the 23rd. I'm gonna start with you, Mr. Coffin. Is there anything else, sir? Any questions you have?
Sure.
All right, then, ma'am, are you there? You still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Ms. Chocolate. Okay, ma'am, do you have any questions?
Yeah, how long is the video chat for?
30 minutes. They're always for 30 minutes or less. It depends on how long you can keep your daughter entertained. So when they leave, they leave.
Okay, all right, and then for the Wednesday?
It's 30 minutes, ma'am. That's the norm.
Okay, on
So
Wednesday, I don't get off until 6:30, sorry.
Oh, you don't get off on Wednesdays at 6:30?
Correct, but I work from home, so
How about Tuesday? I'm sorry?
I'm so sorry to say I work from home, but I get off at 6:30. I mean, like 6:30 should be good.
Okay, good enough then. I can always make it 6:45 on Wednesdays if that's a problem, but yeah, 6:30, if it works, it works. Okay, thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, anything else, Mr. Troxel?
No, sir.
All right, anything else, Mr. Glass?
No, Your Honor.
All right, real quick, guys, I've marked this as State's Exhibit number 1. This is Mr. Coffin's drug test, and that the court has received. Is there any legal reason this should not come in evidence at this time, Mr. Coffin?
Sir.
I'm sorry, sir, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, sir.
Okay, Mr. Troxel,
No, sir.
any objection, Mr. Glass?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection, Ms. Hubbard?
No, Your Honor.
All right, like I say, it is admitted, and I'm gonna go ahead and have, we'll seal it in an envelope, all right, until further order of the court. All right, thank you both all very much. I'll see y'all next month, and everybody be careful out there, and we're off the record. Thank you. I wasn't gonna say anything, Nick. It looked like you were trying to sleep in court over there, Mr. Glass. We know how that goes across these days.